Oh, we're streaming.
We're streaming. It was a mystery to us.
Well, it gave me an error message.
Yeah, I can see myself right now sitting calmly. Okay, so early bird special is almost nothing this time.
Yeah, hold on. Just gotta start my computer up.
Yeah. Okay, so we won't start the show just yet. So we're technically in the early bird special. I do want to say, and
say it.
I know that you work really hard on our backgrounds and stuff like that.
Oh, this one's. I didn't work very hard on this one.
Okay. The white behind our heads is kind of unappealing.
Oh.
Is that gonna be that way the entire time?
It doesn't have to be. I can change it.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll use the episode image and I'll just put that up there.
Okay.
With some Jon Snow up there.
It's Jon Snoke.
Actually, that would probably look a lot better with the green screen effect, to be honest. It would blend some of the fun, because this sometimes is an issue.
Oh, I know. Watch my hand.
Oh, I know, yeah.
It like turns green.
Yeah. How you doing?
I'm okay. So one thing that we can do is when we start the show, you can be typing as I try to remember everything we said we were going to put in this action-packed show.
We got a lot.
Action-packed.
We came into this with nothing, and then all of a sudden in 5 minutes we had a lot.
Okay, but like just talking about Game of Thrones.
That's going to take up a bit.
It's going to be the whole episode.
Because you were going to be bitching the whole time.
Okay, so greetings and salutations, America. I'm Zach Nanimus.
Johnny Dim.
And you have tuned into the WarPod, the official podcast of the Warlocks Entertainment System. I said it right.
Good job.
Your one-stop shop for entertainment news in Houston and around the world. Tonight, we are going to be talking about Game of Thrones. There's going to be a new Game of Thrones tonight, but we're gonna dish about last week.
We're gonna dish about everything up to this episode because we haven't talked about it yet.
Yeah, never once. Because I didn't watch it until just now. We are going to talk about Sonic the Hedgehog. Mm-hmm. So jot that.
Oh, I'm not
just
there yet.
handling error messages from Windows.
We got some issues. Okay, so Game of Thrones.
Sonic the Hedgehog. Write it down.
The Hedge.
Horse racing.
Horse racing.
What else? There was some stuff.
Oh, the video game, the development.
Video game development, which is
yeah.
actually part of the Sonic Hedgehog,
right.
discussion.
That'll be an under thing, yeah.
And some surprises for Zach.
Some surprises.
Yeah, I don't like. The show is often a mystery to me. There's some stuff that he's purposefully.
For me, what this is some of the quite contrary branding coming back, and I want to do some reactions. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There was something else. else.
See, I told you we gotta write this stuff down. I knew I'd forget.
It was like,
Oh, I bet it was the mobile phone.
Mario Kart?
Mario Kart? Because I know that's what you're looking at. Maybe I'm wrong.
There was something you were going to tell me, and I was like, let's
save it for the show.
Yeah, because I could tell immediately that this was going to be dumb.
Yeah. The horse racing took precedent. It took priority.
Oh, just because I think it was so funny what you said.
Yeah.
All right, and I wanted to parse it out right now.
First off, before we get into the meat of it, the background, I'm going to change that background in a second. This doesn't matter at all to the people who listen to the audio only.
No.
But the background, what I did is I threw up the two banners that are going to be at our booth at Game of Thrones, at Comicpalooza. So these are the two banners we're going to have up. We got a Quite Contrary banner and a Warlocks Entertainment System banner.
A whole damn, Game of Thrones convention, I think that could play.
Didn't your brother go to one?
I don't know.
I thought he did. I think it was while he's still living in town.
Although, I think we need to rename conventions. Conventions shouldn't be called conventions.
What should they be called?
Expos.
Yeah?
Expos is more like it. Because, conventions, it used to be I'm a foam rubber salesman.
Right.
And I'm going to go meet other foam rubber salesmen, learn about techniques, new products, possibly network, maybe look for a new job. Somebody wants to hire me.
Yeah, I grew up in Austin for a bit of my childhood, and my dad every year would disappear for a weekend, and he would go to the Turbo Machinery Symposium.
Turbo machinery. Is that for evil scientists?
No. He works in that industry well, what's funny is I would have to preface this because for my whole life, my dad says he works with in parts of turbines. And the thing is, that's in the industry, in the American industry, that's what they call it. But anyone who's not in the industry calls them turbines.
That's weird.
It is weird.
I had a botany teacher, and she used the word fungi exclusively.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That'll rock your world.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway.
I think we're good. We're not gonna remember that thing until later.
Yeah. And it might be that I have to walk over to that computer and change that background because I'm having a lot of trouble remoting into that.
Do it now. Right in the middle of the show.
All right, let's do it.
All right. So, I guess I'll do a segment on what I've been watching / playing.
Do it.
And lately, it's been a lot of Game of Thrones. Mostly Game of Thrones. I saw this was interesting, just like sort of science thing. Some of you may have recently seen this documentary. I don't even remember what streaming service it was on now, but it was about it was about street food in Japan.
Oh, you're talking about Netflix?
Maybe. And there was this guy, and I don't think they even did a "don't try this at home," but he's literally like torching tuna with a blowtorch, like with a propane blowtorch, and he's got salted ice water next to him, and what he's doing is dipping his hand in the water and then literally putting his hand in the blowtorch fire and messing with the tuna. And I wanted to talk about why that happens. So he's not just like burning his hand and then salving it. So if always start with the water first if you want to be a Japanese flamethrower tuna man, because what's happening is actually very interesting. What's happening is that he's dipping his hand in ice water, and he salted the ice water because salt actually
makes it colder, right?
It increases the temperature. No, it decreases.
Because if you add salt to boiling water, it makes it hotter, faster. Is the opposite true when it's cold?
No, it's not opposite. It's moving the solid. It's moving the solidus and liquidus line predictably.
Okay.
So the net result is that it wants to be liquid longer.
Okay.
Or it wants to jump a state up. It wants to jump an energy state more readily. Mm-hmm. So ice water that's salted will stay in liquid form, but still be freezing cold.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what it does. So he puts his hand in this super chilled water, and then when he puts his hand under the flame, his hand is protected for like 1 second max in what is actually a glove of steam.
Right.
And that's why he's okay. So if anybody watched that and was like, I'm just gonna cook my hands and put them in salt water, I'll be fine.
Don't.
Reverse the idea and also do a little bit of experimenting,
right,
in much safer conditions, with a fire extinguisher ready.
There you go.
Or learn from somebody who does it first, because he actually burnt himself. He talked about it.
Oh, that sucks.
He burnt his finger really bad one time. Because once again, this wasn't something he'd learned to do. Because what he was doing is that he was throwing these were parts of the tuna that to make sushi you don't normally use.
Oh, okay.
And he was like, what I do is I take the parts of the tuna you would normally throw away and I turn them into money.
Yeah, so there's a new series on Netflix called Street Food.
Street Food.
So I thought that's maybe what you were talking about.
Maybe.
It's it just made me sad really, because it's not Anthony Bourdain.
Did you have to go there, man?
I'm just telling you what my experience was. Because it seems like that's what the show is. It's like everything Anthony Bourdain would talk about, but without him.
But what I saw was individuals. There was no
Okay, maybe you must have been something else.
Yeah, there was no central presenter who was.
Oh no, there wasn't in this show either.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
It was all just talking to the vendors.
Yeah, that's what street food is.
Did you see one where there was a man and he was making ramen sandwiches?
Did you watch the first episode?
I don't know, man. I just turned it on.
What do you just turned it on? Was it on Netflix or not?
I don't remember.
How do you not remember?
Because there's a million streaming services, man.
You're not subscribed to all of them. It couldn't have been that many.
Okay, but I was trying to find TMNT 2 last night, and I was like,
and you stumbled on to some street food show.
No, I was just saying I went to Hulu and I was like, isn't this where it was? And it turns out no.
Okay.
You can make it's easy to make. They're like individual channels now.
No, I got you.
You can make mistakes.
I got you. It doesn't matter. Moving on.
The weirdest one is anime.
You want to talk about you want to talk about horse racing now?
I do want to talk about horse racing. I want to talk about it so bad because
yeah.
we stumbled upon this because there was this article from Nerd Champion.
No. You're the
Nerd
one who
News, something like that.
found it.
Yeah, and they were talking about an AI that created
horse names.
Horse names.
Yeah.
I'm like
Racing horse names.
One of them was like Pinky Chambers. It was stupid.
Well, I actually remember.
You went and you were asking me which horse race happened recently, and
I think it's the Kentucky Derby.
Maybe.
I think it is.
What's the other famous horse race? Name one other famous horse race.
It's a big deal if a horse wins the big 4 or 3. And one's like...
You're right. It is a huge deal.
For some people, it is. That's the only reason I know about it. I'm not even into horse racing. I know this. One's called something Downs.
You need to throw this computer into a wood chipper. It is useless.
No, it's not. It doesn't matter. So we got onto this thing because I was telling you how big a deal it was because it's the first time in, I think, forever that the lead horse that won the race, technically, got disqualified. So the next horse won.
Right, and I wanted to know what a horse was held accountable for to get disqualified.
Right. When you say the horse is accountable, no, it's not the horse. It's the horse and the jockey.
Okay. Working as a dastardly pair of criminals.
Yes. Yes.
To steal the Kentucky gold.
That's what you get when you win. So what happened was, I even remember the name of the horse that did not win. That should have.
Hold on. No fewer than 3 words in the name.
Actually, no.
Okay.
Maximum Security.
Okay.
Yeah. That's who crossed the finish line first, but did not win the Kentucky Derby because there was a challenge by the one of the horses that was behind him.
What the horse have to say about it?
It wasn't the horse. It was the jockey.
Okay.
It was the jockey. And he actually, I wish they would have showed more footage of it because I only saw one little thing of it. But what they said was that he got out of his lane and pushed whoever was in second place out of the way. And he actually moved him and slowed that horse down so that he could get to the finish line first.
How does that not happen perpetually?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know all the rules of horse racing.
No, it's just like they're horses.
I remember now the other thing you wanted to talk about. Because it was horse racing related.
Okay.
I told you about the concert experience.
Yeah, you said you've been to a horse race, but you only went because there was a
concert
concert afterwards.
Right.
And I want to know who was playing a horse race.
Blue October.
Who?
Most of those people know what I'm talking about. They are, I believe they're from Houston, but it was actually a terrible experience.
Well, who's Blue October? Well, name a hit.
Now I'm putting me on the spot. I didn't go because I really love the band. I don't know. I gotta tell you something because I'm sure you've heard their stuff before.
Did they play Shame on You?
No.
No? They play La Bamba?
No.
Then I've never heard it.
That's the only songs you've heard. Ever.
Ever. Yeah. I've only ever seen
Hate Me, Into the Ocean was their first big hit.
Into the Ocean?
Mm-hmm.
Is that like, I want to stand with you on a mountain?
No.
What is it? What's it like?
It's this one.
Okay, yeah.
Just a taste, because I don't want to get a strike.
Okay, make it under 5 seconds. Or make it under 7 seconds.
Just a normal boy that sank when I fell.
If you don't know it from that,
No.
Okay.
No.
You wouldn't know it.
Sounds bad.
It was on the radio a lot. Anyway.
Who listens to the radio?
I don't know. This came out years ago. So the point was, it was a terrible experience because it's a sad story. It was pretty traumatizing.
All right.
I only saw we only got down by the track like at the last race, and it had been raining earlier in the day, so the track was kind of wet, and
there was a 4-horse pileup, hooves everywhere, 2 fatalities.
you might feel bad about that joke in a second.
Oh no.
So right out of the gate, one of the horses took a tumble, and the jockey went flying and hit close to the railing. I thought he might have was completely out. Like
They don't
unconscious.
weigh a lot.
Yeah.
So gravity doesn't have quite as much of an effect on them. I mean, that's why you throw bugs across the yard and they're
Right,
fine.
and they're fine, yeah. So anyway, long story short, I don't want to get into the details of it, but essentially this horse broke its leg, like ripped it up,
Oh.
and they put it down right in front of us. They killed the horse right in front of us. Now, they did have a curtain up, but it's pretty clear what happens when the giant animal just goes and people are saying, "Oh, well
Wait.
what?"
They had a curtain up,
Yeah.
but you still saw him fall. Did they
No, you could
put a
hear
curtain
it.
up? Oh,
You could hear that animal hit the ground.
I thought they put a curtain up and they're like, and there was a drum roll and like the horse is fine, curtain, blam, pull it away, horse falls.
I've told this story before, and someone asked me, "Well, how do you know they didn't just put it to sleep?" Because I saw the guy doing it, giving the sign of the cross before it happened. So that horse is dead.
They said words over the horse?
Yes.
All right. Like, okay, it is never cool when a horse, when an animal gets hurt.
No, it was not cool.
What I think is super silly, stupid, and kind of cruel is everything the humans did.
No, absolutely, it is. I've had.
Especially the race itself.
I'm not like I don't go so far as I'm not like I don't want to. Okay, I don't. This is hairy territory because I know some people might get offended. I'm not a PETA nut, but
PETA's a
they do a lot. They do a lot of stupid stuff, but
exclusively stupid stuff.
right. But my point is that I despise like things that treat animals. I follow a subreddit. You guys might not even like that. I don't watch it very often because it can be pretty traumatizing. But I follow a subreddit, something it's called like When the Bull Wins, and you see the bulls get in like the ones that get down in Spain with the running of the bulls and all that.
No, valid.
Yeah,
Like,
you see the bull rip some people up.
play stupid games,
Yeah.
win stupid prizes.
Exactly. I remember. I'm not gonna get too far into it, but my point is, I'm not a PETA nut, but I despise people when they're cruel to animals. I don't like rodeos. No, those animals don't sign up for that. Like that's just shitty stuff to do. But anyway, so the horse died, and it was a pretty traumatizing thing. And then we had to try to have fun at a concert right afterwards, and it was a really weird experience.
And it was Blue Job or whatever it's
Yeah, Blue October. Yeah.
Okay.
Which and I think it was that at that concert This is when I started falling out of love with that band anyway, because that guy had like a vendetta against this journalist that was asking him a lot of personal questions. There's an article in the Houston Press. Go find it. It's an interesting read. It basically takes down that band. It's fun.
I would challenge anyone watching the show to find any article in the Houston Press or a copy of it.
Right. Oh, you can get them for free everywhere around Houston. Yeah.
That's why they're difficult to find. Because
they're everywhere?
Yeah, because people have to pack
They don't go places.
People have to pack their glassware, and so they take big stacks of it out of the...
Now, here's a question
Yo.
for you guys.
Nope. We'll wait patiently for your answer right here.
How many of you actually are watching this at home, I wonder? And how many are watching it on their phones elsewhere? Like how many of you are like at a wedding right now watching this?
You're gonna have to check all of our platforms to get that answer.
No, I'm just gonna pull up YouTube. You can tell me on YouTube.
Right, but they might be watching on Twitch or Facebook.
No, I know they could be.
But they're not.
Oh my god.
What is it? Wait,
going on?
do we stream on Quite Contrary?
Yes.
Is that the one that we do?
It streams here, and then the edited version goes up
Two
somewhere else.
watching, and one of them's us.
Hey.
Oh wait, no, actually
it's
it
not.
should. Yeah, it shouldn't count that because
that
that's
one.
our studio.
Anyway, one topic.
One time.
Knock it off the list. Horse racing. We're done talking about horse racing.
You want to sing Happy Birthday to Jeremy?
Yeah.
It's Cinco de Jeremy! Happy birthday, Jeremy.
Happy birthday, Jeremy.
Jeremy used to do segments with us before he moved away for work. But it's definitely his birthday today, and I wanted. To
I told him
mention it.
already on Facebook.
So I was waiting for this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought
this is more personal.
More personal touch. So you want to sing Happy Birthday?
Let's
to
do it.
Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jeremy. Happy birthday to you. It always sounds better with the harmony, doesn't it?
It's fun.
Happy birthday, Jeremy. I love you.
Good job.
Good job.
Good
Okay,
job.
Another one. Done.
That wasn't even on the list.
That's what people tune in for.
Yeah.
So are we just waiting to the end for yeah, it's probably better because we're gonna get into spoilers for people who haven't seen the episode yet. Although there's plenty of stuff to talk about when it comes to not spoilers. Either way, you want to get into Sonic the Hedgehog? You want to crack open a blue blur?
Yes.
Okay. Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, I haven't even seen the new trailer.
Are we doing that? Did you want to watch it?
Yeah, I do.
All right,
I really do.
All right.
Yeah, because you worked really hard to make the audio work.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I did that for that computer. For that audio, whatever plays on that computer is going to be streamed. And now I can't get into that computer for some reason. I can't do it, Zach. I can't.
Well,
let me try again.
I was just saying you could go over there because
And play it there?
Well, the thing is that when it plays behind us, they never see anything anyway. Like our heads are in the way the whole time.
Oh, that's what I do that on purpose because then we won't get a copyright strike. It's less likely.
Well, you can do it with one person. That.
You want me to just play it behind us over there?
Yeah.
Okay. But you can't hear it then.
No, I want you to go over there.
Yeah, you won't be able to hear it.
Why?
Because I can't play it on this computer. I can play it on this computer. This is a mess. I wish my team viewer would just fucking work.
Well, it ain't gonna because it's off the network.
All right, screw it.
All right. Oh, so we won't be able to hear it? That's what you're saying. If you do it,
I can make it come out of the speaker here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just play it real loud.
You don't want to play it that loud.
Come on, baby. I thought you liked to party. Play it louder than play it. And you're gonna have to speak up too because you took off your mic for some reason.
I know.
You can have your mic. It's right here. Yeah. This is the best show we've ever done.
You know what? You try to prepare for things. I don't even know why.
I don't.
No, you don't.
I do my best work on the fly, baby.
All right.
All right.
Get ready to fly on this one.
Just stellar. Okay. We're watching Sonic the Hedgehog. I didn't even know that Jim Carrey was in the movie.
Oh yeah.
And that Dr. Robotnik looks like a dude. That was surprising to me. Okay. Oh, and I'm watching it. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell you.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's make sure the audio. I don't think we have anything yet. Look at me go.
Well, they got the logo wrong. Oh, but of course they're gonna have a brand new logo for the movie. Remember when the Power Rangers movie came out and had a brand new logo and like everybody was like weirded out by it?
Yep.
I thought it was okay. Like they had like a new budget. They had a bigger budget, but it was still the '90s, and so like Billy had like What are you doing with your?
That's what the audio comes out of.
Oh, okay.
That's why we weren't hearing anything. Okay, it should work now.
All right. Strangest thing.
Yep.
Why do you have the audio of your computer playing out of a 20-year-old CD player / cassette
Stereo?
player? Yeah.
Because it's louder and it's more full sound than my computer. My computer speakers suck. They're over there.
You can buy like a little.
I don't like them. This is more fun.
Okay.
See? It's a conversation piece.
if
All
they
right.
happen to be in your home studio
Yes.
streaming with you. All right.
All right. So one thing I'm gonna do real quick.
Oh boy.
No, you're fine. It's okay. Don't worry.
Okay, just
Don't worry,
as,
Zach.
as far as conversation pieces
There
are
you go.
Okay. All right.
Here we
Ready to
go.
rock and or roll?
We're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it live. You ready?
That's not Planet Mobius.
Nope. It's Earth.
Did you say 760 or 160?
I don't know. Is that important? Should I check?
I mean, like, he's supposed to roll around at the speed of sound. And, okay. Gotta go fast.
Gotta go fast. He's fucking Ricky Bobby.
10 minutes ago, an energy surge knocked out power across the entire Pacific.
I actually kind of
Someone
like
who
it.
can figure out exactly what we're dealing with.
You're not suggesting who I think you're suggesting.
We have no choice.
What the? Are you in charge here? Yes, I am. I'm wrong. I'm in charge. Allow me to clarify.
What's with that?
In a sequentially ranked hierarchy based on level of critical importance, the disparity between us is too vast to quantify. Agent Stone.
The doctor thinks you're basic.
Listen, pal. I don't know if you realize this. I'm sorry, Major. What was your name? Benny. Nobody cares.
No.
Meow.
Stupid. Why could he not dodge that?
Okay, pal. I want to answer. Basically, it looks like I'm gonna have to save your planet.
Why is he electrified?
That's his thing, apparently.
Like,
in this game. Apparently, that's his thing in this movie.
hey! The Robodozer.
Is to secure it, neutralize it, see what makes it tick.
From the producer of The Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
Oh, the rings are warpies? I don't know how I feel about that. It's cute. Wait, how small is he?
You have your child in that bag?
No. I mean, yes, it's a child, but it's not mine.
Not your shop.
Not like body for an old ham sandwich.
You know what? Perfect. Necessary. There's nothing inherently wrong with that. Like,
What people are up in arms about is the design of
Sonic.
Sonic himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but the thing is, like, as just a movie, like, if you were a big fan of Sonic Adventure, which I am, you should see no problem with this movie whatsoever.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because Sonic Adventure and its sequel were stupid. Just stupid plots.
Okay. It's stupid, but you're a fan of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's supposed to be it's the okay. You know how like we always talk about whether or not movies are good, and like if it's a superhero movie, like I start off like
We're saying
thinking,
it's a stupid superhero movie.
yeah, like I'm not gonna give it more than an 80.
Right.
Like very unusual for like I start there thinking that that's the best it can do, because like superhero movies kind of don't know what they are anymore. And, you know, it's dudes running around in tights fighting, you know, Nazis and stuff. You know, it's stupid. It's inherently silly.
Yeah.
And this movie knows what it is. It knows it's the Hedgehog it knows it's the video game Hedgehog movie about 25 years too late. It knows that.
But yeah, you also know that 25 years ago, if they tried to make this movie, they couldn't.
Oh, yeah, it'd look really dumb.
It would look terrible.
Which is why they just would have made it animated, which is what they did. And they actually made some pretty good animated stuff.
Yeah. I read the short Sonic the Hedgehog novels
Sorry, what?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Wait, are you talking about the fan fiction from Lil Sonic?
No,
that
no, I bought
Game-
these from
Game
like
Grumps has brought
like
into
Scholastic, the Scholastic Book Club or whatever. I think I got them from there.
How many different ways are there to describe Sonic going fast? I still need to write that Zach Nanimus punch up.
Okay.
It's like why modern Sonic games are misguided and wrong and bad.
Oh right.
It's
yeah,
why
yeah.
people dislike them.
Right.
So the design.
Yeah, so this led into the story was everyone hated the design, and there was even a mock-up, which I should I have to go back over there. So there was just use your imagination. Maybe I'll put a link to it in the later when I publish this. But go just search for it. There's an artist who actually changed the design. He actually took a screenshot from the trailer, and he actually created just what Sonic is supposed to look like. And it does look a lot more pleasing to the eye. Like if you're a Sonic fan, you're like that's your Sonic. That's Sonic.
Yeah. Well, I mean, first common sense thing is that like Sonic's mouth right here, it wasn't tan fur.
Right.
It's skin.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have fur there. Like that's one part. Okay, there's this thing in Sonic. It's I wish we had a whiteboard. No.
You mean-
no. Let's not bring that atrocity over here.
So anyway, yeah. So
like Sonic has one eye.
pretty much.
Yeah, his eyes, like his two eyes are shaped like this with a connection in the
Right.
middle. And like for some reason it works. It works better.
And what I noticed that I thought the biggest change was that it was just the shape of his body itself. Like especially when you get down to the legs portion.
Yeah.
Like the way it's like it's got this weird, like it doesn't look natural to me. But I'm not saying that the original Sonic does look natural because he's got skinny legs that are attached to a torso. This one has the one in the trailer kind of has it like tapers off weird.
Yeah, well, I like the modern redesign of Sonic that started with Adventure, where his body is like teardrop shaped, and that leads into a tail that goes underneath the grundle, right? And then literally just stick on arms and legs.
Yeah, stick on arms and legs.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
where in
talking
the
about.
original game, his body's perfectly circular.
Yeah.
Like he's a circle with legs.
Right.
But that actually made us speculate on exactly how the 3D animators.
Well, it was based on a tweet that I saw that was basically someone speculating that the way it probably went in the beginning was the people, the actual development team that actually were doing the CGI, probably told them when they came up with this vision, hey, this is probably not what you want to do for Sonic. You probably want to do like this, like the actual Sonic.
Yeah,
and it was likely
somewhat like
it was likely there was an argument, and then the suits were like, no, this is the Sonic we need. This is the Sonic we want. I'm like, okay, and they begrudgingly did it. And then probably what's happening now is that there's probably those same guys that told them they shouldn't do this are now probably working overtime because we haven't said this yet. Mm-hmm. The outrage was so big about and just loud about how people hated the design. They're actually going back and they're apparently changing the design of Sonic. Like they're redoing it completely in the movie. And so now these guys that told them that they probably shouldn't have used this design of Sonic are probably going back and working overtime, working long hours, probably not being compensated appropriately.
In breach of their contract.
And it happens a lot. When,
Yeah.
This was a big thing that came out when Sausage Party came out.
Yes.
A lot of people.
That was a train wreck.
Yeah, these people they're way being overworked and underpaid. And I was bringing up another meme.
Because a lot of it's foreign studios, right? Like they
sometimes.
Yeah, they overhire.
Yeah, I think that a lot of the animation oftentimes is done in overseas studios.
I know that's true. I know that's a TV standard.
Right.
But as far as movies are concerned, I'm not sure.
And in fact, there's some TV show. I wish I remembered which one it was.
Every single one.
But there was one where I think it's The Simpsons.
Yeah.
The Simpsons, like, they do a lot of the design, the main basic design in a particular episode. They'll do a lot of it, but then the actual animating and putting the show together, they actually outsource.
It's called keyframe animation, or key animation, and basically it would like if I was keyframe animation, then I would look like this, where I'm getting the basic ideas down.
Right.
But to make
and
it
the rest you make it smooth.
Yeah, to make it look fluid, you have to add more frames.
And you know what's happening is these. The reason they're outsourcing is because they can get it done cheaper that way.
Exactly.
And which also means that the people over there that are doing it are getting underpaid.
Yes.
That's exactly what that means. That's why your Nike shoes don't cost what they should cost.
Well, actually, it would be fine, but Okay, so
Well, there's also markup.
Now we're getting real political
Yeah,
here.
we are.
Is that corporations, and this is just what happens. Corporations, they like the shareholders demand profit growth every
Right.
year. If you
Yes.
make the same amount of profit, if you make
Yes.
$1 billion in a year, if you don't make if you don't make like $1 billion, $2 million the
Right.
next year, then you're falling behind. Your profit isn't growing.
And it doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Well, you have to keep up with inflation.
Right, you
but
do have to
that's
keep
not
up
what
with-
they actually do.
Right.
They try to eat up as much market as possible.
Right, especially when it's a publicly traded company, there's a lot of pressure. Like if you're a CEO of a company, of a very large company, and you don't show a positive growth in 1 year, you're fired. Like you're not going to work there anymore.
Yeah.
Like the pressure, especially in our capitalist society, is immense for people just to constantly show progress and growth.
So what I'm saying is that your Nike shoes could still be $400.
Right.
But it might eat into the profits a little bit, so they don't.
Right.
They cut costs wherever possible, instead of paying into their own economies.
Right.
They outsource everything.
And since this is not an economic show, we're probably going to stop there with that part of it. But what I do want to say, what I want to bring attention to, and this is actually an issue right now in video games, is that it's becoming more clear that a lot of times video game developers, the actual people doing the grunt work, the actual people doing, like we're talking about, like the outsourcing stuff that is done with TV shows a lot of the time, a lot of that's in-house, and we'll be doing the individual studios. It's not necessarily America. There's also there's big Canadian studios, Japanese studios, and those people get overworked and underpaid all the time.
Even in their own markets, in their own studios, because video games is one of those industries. It's like acting. It's like comic books. It's like voice acting, where like people are lining up around the block to be part of it.
Yep.
So anybody who owns a studio knows they can treat their people like crap.
Right, and part of that is that what sometimes they'll be working on a project, because sometimes it takes teams of 300 people to make a video game, especially a AAA title. And what they'll do is they'll have these huge teams, they'll bring all these people in, sometimes they're contractors or whatever, but as soon as that game ships, half those people are cut. They're fired. They're out of a job.
And the thing is that like there are other industries that do this really well. It's called overhire.
Right.
And every union does it.
Yeah.
Um,
But the thing is, there's
like
not...
in theater, I've done overhire shows.
Sure.
Yeah.
But the thing is, what's happening is these people are... They're getting the short end of the stick, really. And
and what I was saying is that these people, they get hired with like contracts,
Right.
and stuff, like limited contracts and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and like it's misleading.
right, it is a little.
Although people who have been in the industry for a little bit, they like the writings on the wall, and they
Right.
know they know to line up their next gig real quick.
Absolutely. What I was going to say was, and part of the reason that this is so bad in the video game industry is because they're trying to make cuts wherever they possibly can. That's why you're seeing the increase in microtransactions, and it all comes down to this. The price of video games actually has not kept up with inflation.
Yeah.
They've actually stayed very low. Back in the 90s, you'd buy a new game for $60. And now, in 2019, you buy a new game for $60. That's why they're selling you the microtransactions. They'll sell you the league passes, all that kind of good stuff. They're always trying to find a way to get more money because the industry's it's messed up. No one's stepping up and actually charging what they should be charging for the games.
The other problem is the scope of video games themselves. I look at like they'll sell something like. And not that Nintendo doesn't put out quality products, but like what was it? I think there was like a recent Mario. I think it was Odyssey is a bad example. It was a smaller game. I can't remember what it was.
What, a Mario game?
Yeah, but it was small. It was a much smaller game.
Super Mario Run.
I don't probably not. But it was still being sold for $60.
Okay.
And Red Dead Redemption is also $60.
Yes.
And that game is just huge,
Yes.
absurdly large.
Yes, that's probably one of the biggest video games. It probably is the biggest video game ever.
And
just I'm talking about data size.
And the problem with that pricing model is that you can put out any schlock.
Yeah.
And like you can roll the dice on a $60 price tag.
Nintendo's very good at making us spend money on the same game multiple times.
Yes.
They're very good at that.
But this is something I've been saying for a long time is that we need independent developers to rein in their expectations.
Right.
Like and I use this example every time. Making Ocarina of Time, which was groundbreaking in its time,
Yep.
just wouldn't be that hard today.
Right.
and people still love that game.
They do.
They re-released it like 5 years ago, and people just snapped it up. And the only difference was that it was an HD re-release.
Yep.
And so like with computer modeling technology, you make your models, you animate them, and it's time consuming. But like the reason that Link looked bad in the original game was because he was made up of so few polygons.
It was done on the N64 system, so
Yeah.
they had limits.
So now, graphically speaking, you can punch everything up, but still make kind of a small, intimate game, which is exactly what it was. Took about 30 to 40 hours to complete.
Sure.
And that's all you really need. And you know, even large companies could be throwing this stuff out there.
And absolutely, and there are. Luckily, there are good games like that. There are plenty of indie titles that do that.
And they could do it for $50 a piece.
Right, they can do it for 40, and some do.
Yeah.
There's $30, $20 games. Look, like, if you have a Switch, just go into the Nintendo eShop. There are actually really good games for $30 or less. So go check that out. I've been playing one. The one I'm playing, Golf Story, definitely was not a $60
Talk
game.
about Golf Story for
I love it. It's a great game. And it was not a $60 game. I think it was $20 or less, I think. I can't remember exactly how much I paid for it. But yeah, there's great games out there that don't push that, and they don't abuse their people. But yeah, this is a topic I think that's not done being talked about in the industry. I think people are going to continue talking about, which is good. And we're doing our part just to keep that alive.
Well, here's the real question. If games kept up with inflation, I mean, would you really buy them?
Yeah, you just wouldn't buy as many.
Like $100 for Red Dead Redemption.
Well, I think you'd still have the different tiers of video games, right?
Yeah.
So that I think that would make it like I could buy a few indie titles a year and maybe 1 or 2 AAA titles a year.
Well, I think that I don't know if it should be based on whether or not it's independent or not. I think that gaming companies like Nintendo could shoot out
And sometimes they do.
Like the last Legend of Zelda was very, very, very large.
Nintendo's version of that now is the ones they're putting out on mobile phones. Those games are cheap. Those games are actually very cheap. And what I like about some of them,
Yeah, but they're mobile.
They are mobile games.
They're doing wow. Did we have a good segue? They're about to do Mario Kart Tour.
Yeah.
You know, and everybody's so excited. Oh, Mario Kart's coming to your Android. No, it's a mobile game that looks like Mario.
Right.
Kart.
You're right. There is a problem with that area too, because then we can talk about what happened a year or two ago with Blizzard and how they. I'm sure you heard about this. If not, whatever.
The new Diablo?
Yeah.
That wasn't 2 years ago. That was pretty recent.
I always try to be vague about my timelines because I have no idea when it happened.
Yeah,
it was
that was
within 2 years. It may have been like 6 months ago.
Yeah, it was. That was going to be my guess.
But there was a big uproar because the next Diablo is going to be a mobile game, and people are not happy about that.
But they do mobile games because it's
profitable.
It's a larger audience.
Right.
It's a smaller game, and you spend money on it. I'm playing this free Captain Planet game right now, and it was cute for like 2 weeks.
Right.
But you get burned out because you have to include the paywalls.
Right.
You have to make the game frustrating if you're not going to pay money.
Right. Absolutely. Am I playing? I'm not playing anything on my mobile right now.
Not even Half-Life Mobile.
No.
What was it? GPub Mobile.
Oh, I was playing PUBG mobile. Yeah, I do enjoy the PUBG. That gets irritating for me. I don't have to pay money for it, and I don't. I may have put like $2 into that game total. But it is irritating to be constantly berated with options of buying stuff. It gets a little annoying.
Yeah. It would be nice to just be like, I'm never gonna buy anything.
Yeah, just
like,
turn it off
once a week.
I would pay $1 just to turn that off. You know what I'm saying? That should be a microtransaction in and of itself.
That's actually a genius idea.
It's not a bad one.
Okay.
You should have the option going in. Do you want microtransactions, or do you want to pay like $3 and you'll never have to buy anything, and we'll give you this little starting package and you're good.
That's the same thing.
It is the same thing, but in the other option, they'll never bother you again.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So make smaller, more intimate games because they sell just fine.
Actually, and that reminds me of something.
That's the takeaway.
Yeah.
That way you can treat your people better and make more games.
And although you put a nice button on this, we could probably move on. I just want to mention I've heard about this game called Gumballs and Dungeons, and apparently it's a lot of fun. And that when you pay like $9 for currency, and that currency can take you. It's good for like a year or two. Like you don't have to buy anything else. It's like a one-time purchase. Here's all the currency you'll ever need. Which is kind of weird, but
Why not? I mean, why not just charge for the game?
yeah, that's a good idea too. All right, so next topic.
Next to peak.
Next topic.
I think it might be time for a little
Game of Thrones.
Gamble Thorns.
Gamble Thorns.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Gamble Thorns has happened, and I feel like we're going to get into spoiler territory pretty quick.
Yeah. So if
So-
you have not got caught up, this is probably not a good idea at all.
Yeah, if you have not seen episodes 1 through 3 of season 9, we are going to be talking about them.
Yep. Just the first 3.
Well, no, we're going to talk about the whole series.
We're gonna talk about the whole series up through the 3rd episode of the 8th season.
Yeah. Is it 8? Are we on 8? Oh, I thought we were on 9 for some reason. Okay. You tell your baby to shut up.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear that. The baby's definitely crying. In the other room. Do you want to start
Tara's a
talking?
good mommy.
Yeah,
Huh?
she is, but he can be a little much to handle sometimes. Do you want me to? I can go check on him.
Yeah, we'll take a quick Johnny break.
Johnny break.
Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum. Okay, now that Johnny's gone, I want to explain a few things to you, America. First off, he has been farting nonstop. This chair has changed color. No. So Game of Thrones, I kind of want to explain my journey with it. I started watching Game of Thrones maybe like three years ago, and it was just because I didn't have the HBO service, and somebody lent me DVDs, and I found them annoying to binge watch stuff that was on DVDs. So I just ignored it, and then the new season came out, and I have the HBO channel on Amazon now, and it's just I started watching the most recent season, and I was like, okay, I don't mind the spoilers so much, but I'm going to go back and I'm going to check out exactly like how we got here, and I found it as a narrative to Doritos.
I brought back Doritos.
Brought back Doritos. He turned his baby into Doritos.
You tasty.
I was explaining to them my journey as like how I actually like the weird way in which I watched Game of Thrones, and I found the narrative to be a little confused.
How so?
Okay, so this is a story about zombies. Zombies in the north,
Sure.
and then the world of man, they quibble over this throne, but zombies are coming, and those are kind of like two different stories for the majority of it.
Yes.
Yeah. So like it feels like the zombie enemy, even though I know they set it up in season 1. I know that. They started talking about it. It feels tacked on because it's like something that they ignore for a long time, which I think is odd. Like,
It's not completely ignored though.
Well, no, I mean by the other characters.
No, it's well. That's kind of part of the story. Is the ones at the wall are the only ones that are constantly thinking about it because that's their job to protect
Yeah.
the Southern Kingdoms. I guess I see what you're saying, but I don't quite agree because for me it felt fine because it's what's interesting about Game of Thrones, and I think this is part of the draw, is that it is a story about many stories. It is a story about an entire, almost basically a world, or you could say half a world, and it's all in the title, right? It's Game of Thrones, right? So it's all about these different kingdoms that are eventually going to be vying over control of all the 7 kingdoms.
Yeah.
And then you also have the impending doom coming, the threat from the beyond the wall.
Yeah, no, I get that. And like sometimes in stories, and like they don't all have to be perfect and they don't have to have like cute like setups and everything like that. Sometimes stories are fine when they just tell you what's happening.
And I'll be honest, a Game of Thrones without the Night King and his army would still be a good show.
I would contest that it would be a better one.
I don't think it would be necessarily better, because I think it's something that really, it's something I was learning about kind of how stories are drafted and writing scripts and stuff is like you need to be able to put your characters, especially the ones that are loved by they're just straight up, they're supposed to be like the main protagonist.
The fawns.
Yeah, the fawns. The main protagonist. You got to put them through the ringer, and I think that's what Game of Thrones does so well. Is because it makes you care about these characters, and then it beats them the hell up. And I think this puts a lot of emphasis, and it actually beats the hell out of one of the most people's favorite house, which is House Stark. Like they go through the ringer, and that's part of the journey. You know, they could have, with Robb in charge, like early on in the series, they could have. I think they very well could have taken over the Iron Throne pretty easily, because he was winning. He was winning a lot, and then so that's kind of the ebb and flow, I think, of what you're supposed to do in a story like this.
No,
Because what kept them in check eventually, what ultimately keeps them in check is the Night King coming down, and it gets us to the point where we're waiting now on episode 4, where Cersei's going to have the upper hand.
Right.
Yeah.
And the thing is that I think that it would have been more satisfying to talk about the central theme, which is, that it's a bunch of people quibbling over a chair,
Sure.
and like
It's a symbolic chair.
in order to drive that home, I think it would have been nice for the armies of the dead to breach the wall way earlier. I mean, like season 5. And we might have, or maybe breach in 4, and then we have our first big battle and we'd have the Battle of Winterfell in season 5, and then all of the political intrigue that's going on, leave it in, because the point is that even when there is a clear and present danger, these people are going to ignore it because they're fixated on what they perceive to be power. I think that would have driven. I think it would have driven the point home a little better.
That would not have been a bad idea. But ultimately, I think I like what they ended up doing. I like what they ended up doing because of the building climax of finally getting them there. I like that. I like that build because you're constantly thinking about it. Because during all of what's going on, you're watching all these different feuds and things going on and backstabbing and blah 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 blah. And all the time, what's in the back of your mind is, well, like the shit's about to hit the fan.
Right, but it's not. But like, the thing is, you look at the Ironborn. You look at House Lannister. Okay, you look at the Boltons, and you might like or dislike them. Actually, I think I named a bunch of houses that nobody likes. But the thing is that while they're doing despicable things to one another and backstabbing and stuff like that, you can't blame them because they have no idea that the armies of the undead are coming.
Right.
As far as they know, it's a rumor and a laughable one.
Right.
So you never stop and think, hey, what about the undead? Well, they don't know. You can't actually blame them.
I was talking about in the minds of the audience.
But that's what I'm saying is that it would be nicer to have them
be faced with that.
Yeah, the really interesting stuff was in episode 1 of this season, where Cersei knows the army of the dead is coming,
right? And
she's like, why don't we just have them fight them, and then we'll
kill them.
Yeah, let's not help. Let's roll the dice on not helping at all. That's cool Cersei stuff. That's definitely some skeevy Cersei stuff.
Yeah.
You want to talk about dumb tack-ons, like Obsidian?
Oh, you're talking about the dragon glass?
Yeah, I think it's dumb that dragon glass kills people, kills the undead.
It's fine.
Well, I feel like it started with Valyrian steel, whereas so we set up this cool ancient society that knew way more about everything than anybody ever did, and they were the perfect society, but they fell. And we have but tokens from their society. A handful of Valyrian steel blades that are capable of taking out the undead. One very common rock will do it too. Don't worry, there's plenty of weapons for everybody.
It wasn't that common. It was specifically on that island, the old where Daenerys' family used to call home.
There's a little bit on every island.
Either way, it was fine. It didn't. I don't think I don't think it did anything to damage the story. I thought it was fine.
No, it just like it's not that big a deal, but it's definitely tacked on. It's definitely, oh, this magical weapon is the only thing that can do it. We don't have enough weapons for all the characters. Also, this rock.
Well, I like it because it was a discovery.
Uh-huh.
Because the rock was fairly common, and it was common enough that they could arm an army with it. And I like the discovery that finally we have something that we know can kill them. I think that was cool.
Mm-hmm. And didn't it have something to do with the creation of the Night King? Like if you stab obsidian into somebody's heart,
I forget.
they'll become the Night King.
But I think the episode that they discovered that actually was one of the better episodes, because that when you really start to see how powerful that the dead army is. That was when they went north of the wall.
I think that's when they went after Bran.
No.
Because he saw it. He saw the creation of the Night King.
I don't think that's when they figured the dragonglass thing. That was when they found that out. Jon Snow figured it out. He went north of the wall to help try to get those villages of the what do they call those guys?
The Wildlings?
Yeah, I think they're trying to convince a village of them to move with them because they're about to get killed by the Night King, and they were there for the Night King's invasion into that village. I think and he killed one of the White Walkers.
Okay.
With dragonglass, I believe.
Okay. Jon Snow coming back to life.
That was stupid.
That was
He never. That was the dumbest.
The other thing is that the Red Lady does cool stuff.
Yeah.
But she always pays for her blood magic. There's always a sacrifice. There's something that's okay. She can have power, but there's always something that she's got to do. She's got to sacrifice. Oh God. When they killed Stannis' daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God. Yeah.
That was a rough episode.
But turns out that if she speaks over somebody often enough, whatever she wants will just happen.
Right.
Kind of like when she spoke over one of the Dothraki swords.
Yep. And they all
became flame. Which I was thinking the only reason that works is because Dothraki swords are made up of cheap enough iron that they have enough carbon to burn.
Yeah.
I heard that in the Battle of Winterfell, people were complaining about how dark the episode was.
The people were complaining about that. Yeah.
Which I think and the thing is that kind of thing annoys me, but I think that darkness was used really, really well in that episode.
They were fighting at night.
Well, it's like okay. The thing is like you'll have stuff like the Mines of Moria in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
The thing is that like it's dark in there, and they show that it's dark by really just putting people in blue light. But the thing is that nobody complained about the darkness. Mm-hmm. You had a sense that it was dark, but
that's because they had a light. And they had torches or whatever.
Well, they were like fights where like those things.
It got dark, yeah. It got darker when they fought the cave troll, I believe.
Yeah, but nobody complained because they
the blue light, yeah.
Yeah, they established that everybody had a way to see fine, or there was just enough light.
Right.
So then you look at then you look at The Hobbit, where there are parts of.
I blocked that out.
Okay.
The entire movie.
there are parts of Mirkwood where it's literally too dark to see.
Sure.
But all the characters still in blue light and just pretending to not be able to see.
Right.
In this fight, in the Battle of Winterfell, you had the Dothraki like running up, and like one by one, the flames of their swords just all go out, and you see nothing but pitch black. Mm-hmm. And that was cool.
Yeah,
that was really cool.
I think the scenes that were a little frustrating, and to be honest, some people are going to complain more than others because some TVs don't do darkness very well. Mm-hmm. Darks will look too dark, and it gives a strange color contrast. I had a TV that used to do that, so I completely understand if people are complaining it's too dark, because some people's TVs it was too dark.
Yeah.
The TV we have it almost was too dark. I had to squint a little bit to see something, especially when they were. I remember some of the dragon flying stuff. Some of that was almost too dark. But overall, I like the effect because they're fighting at night, and so you're seeing the challenges of doing that. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked
Now, let's talk about how stupid their entire strategy for fighting the undead
This,
was.
I don't see your point at all.
Okay. There's a reason you build castles.
Yeah, the keeps. Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, I think it's Bolton, not Ramsey, his father. What's his name?
I don't remember.
Scary Bolton.
Yeah.
Like he's actually arguing with Ramsey because Ramsey wants to take a force outside of the keep, and he was like, "You don't give up your defensive position. If you've got a big wall, you use it, and you fight from that wall using a height advantage and the fact that they can't charge you. Like you do it on purpose for some really specific reasons."
Sure.
So why did they put their best fighters out front in the dark where they were definitely gonna die, and then charged away from charged away from it?
Well, the Dothrakis, that's the only way they fight. They fight in an open field. They're cavalry, and that's the only way they will fight.
Okay.
You can't put them in a phalanx.
Why the Unsullied?
The Unsullied, well, for one, I've told you this, and I still believe it. There's absolutely no way that entire army fits inside the keep. And I think that also when
They
you're
just have to double up on beds.
no, I don't physically. I don't believe that they physically could have fit inside the keep. And then again, or not again, but the second thing is that they were fighting a battle of basically last man standing. This was not a let's just survive in the keep. And two, there were dragons, and also they don't know the full power of the Night King. So putting everybody inside the castle, inside the castle walls, you fly the dragon in there, and he just roasts everybody, and it's just done.
They didn't use the dragons anyway.
They did use the dragons.
No,
did.
the dragons breathed down fire onto troops like a dozen times.
But that wasn't
That
part.
should have been the first thing. Oh, also,
The plan was they knew that he could raise the dead, and that could just the more people that die, the more people are in his army. So that they weren't going to sit there and just roast everybody. They had a specific plan to take out the Night King specifically.
no. The thing about burning the undead is like it's just to get rid of the body.
Sure.
Yeah. So like, okay. The other thing is that the first thing they did was charge, which is what you never do. The first volley is always a volley. You fire arrows until a melee starts because you can't fire arrows when your guys are fighting the other guys.
It was unclear how far away they were. They had no idea how far away the army of the dead was.
If only they had a magical creature that could breathe fire to cast some sort of light on where.
It still would. Okay. I still understand what the problem is.
Like they did everything dumb. The first thing that they did was charge. They put their guys.
Dothrakis have to charge.
Okay. Dothrakis are expendable. They put their best sensible fighters outside the wall on the front where they had absolutely no ability to retreat if necessary.
Couldn't fit inside the keep.
Never established.
Didn't need to.
Guessing.
Didn't need to.
Guessing.
Just take it in as they give it to us because they're fighting. I don't know. This is just okay for the Unsullied aren't necessarily trained fighters.
They are the best fighters.
No. I'm not saying they're not trained fighters. I'm saying they're not trained for that kind of combat where you're just because basically what you're explaining and what does happen a lot is the castle sieges, right?
Yeah.
But you're not using traditional warfare necessarily. You're fighting an army of the dead that are just going to climb over the walls anyway.
I mean, that's what every army tries to do anyway.
Right, but then you're talking about fighting in close quarters where I think the army of the dead would have the advantage. Because they can just swarm you and you're done.
No. The whole point of castling is to make sure it never gets to that. That's the whole point of castling.
Right, but they're not using traditional warfare weapons. They're not. They have a dragon. The Night King had a dragon, and he's got the army of the dead. They're going to get over the walls. It's not. This isn't traditional warfare.
Right, but you should have every person capable of dropping a rock, shooting a bow, or firing a trebuchet on that wall, taking out as many as they can before it happens.
The way they did it was fine.
It was stupid.
It was not stupid. It was not stupid at all.
Yes, it was.
It was not.
Because the other thing is that, hey, they know exactly where the Night King is coming from. They know exactly where he's coming from. Why were there men in front of the gate?
What do you mean? To fight?
Yes. They had an idea that they'd be fighting superior numbers. So what happens? You put your hand at the tip of mine right here.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Okay. So what happens when you're fighting superior forces is that you're like a spear, and you hit a wall of their forces, and then their forces bend around you.
Right.
So, and that's bad.
Right.
Why, if they knew that the Night King was going to charge from the north, why didn't they stand on the east and west of the keep and then try to close them in themselves?
I don't know if there wasn't forces over there. Was there not forces on?
No, it was pretty much all just right in front of Winterfell.
I'm gonna watch it again.
Like, they completely ignored winning strategies the entire time. And then the dragons, they barely used. The dragons' only job should have been just torching dudes perpetually before they get to the
They had
wall.
another dragon to worry about. They had to defend against that dragon.
You're right. One dragon's job should fight that dragon. That's its job.
I believe that he had the bigger dragon. That's why it took 2 dragons to take him down.
Right. But
And it did. He took out two of the dragons took out each other.
You know what they had? They had a dragon, which is impervious to flame. And they also had a rider that's impervious to flame. They should have just sent Daenerys out to take out the Night King.
Fire is not the dragon's only weapon.
You're right. But against the Night King, it's the best one.
No, it's not. They torched him. It didn't work.
No, he walked through fire.
What are we talking about?
Okay,
I thought we were talking about fire.
there's a difference between him dousing a flame with his cold powers versus getting jet blasted by a dragon. There's a difference.
He did get jet blasted by the dragon.
Really?
That happened in the show.
Okay.
He was on the ground and they torched him and they thought it killed him and he just when the flames went away he was still there.
Okay.
It was a Kylo Ren, Luke Skywalker situation.
I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
But they didn't even try it ahead of time. And that being the case, the thing is that the dragons still wanted to fight one another, which would have given Jon Snow way more than enough time to use his dragon to just torch the army over and over and over and over again.
Night King had the spear. It doesn't matter. Honestly, if they would have done everything to a T like you wanted them to do, they still would have ended up in the same situation. Because that army was overwhelming.
You're right. They would have ended up in the same situation because the Night King is stupid and went for Bran.
Yes,
Why would he go for Bran?
because he wants to kill the memories of the Seven Kingdoms.
First?
They talk about that.
Okay. Why Bran first?
Wasn't first.
You're right.
It doesn't happen until like an hour and a half like into the show.
You're right.
Or whatever it was.
The Night King is perpetually knocking down obstacles in a blind, mad dash to Bran. There's stuff in his way, and he's only concerned with knocking it down so that he can get to Bran.
Right. He was overconfident, and that can destroy a lot of campaigns.
He's overconfident?
Yeah, the Night King's a little overconfident.
Have we established the Night King having any kind of personality?
I'm basing this on what he did. You're saying he's stupid.
Yeah.
I'm saying yes, he was overconfident.
Yeah.
What's there to argue?
I don't think he would have done that. It's just a stupid move. And also, how did Arya get there?
What are you talking about?
Arya shanks the Night King.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of it was just really, really, really convenient. The Night King wants to run at Bran, no matter the cost. Arya, who was lost in the castle having a library adventure.
Who established her ninja skills so she can get over there.
No, it's okay. But she didn't even know that was going down. She was having
She knew the plan.
She was having, okay, then why didn't she just stay with Bran the whole time?
She only went over there when she did. She probably saw. She probably went to go check on him after everything kind of collapsed in the castle. What needs to be explained? I don't understand what needs to be explained. She went where she needed to go, and she got it done.
Wait. Okay. She went where she needed to go.
It wasn't part of the plan necessarily.
How did she know to go then?
She probably gave up on the castle. I don't know. They don't say.
That's what I'm saying. They don't say.
Would you have preferred her to just look at the camera and say, "Man, I should probably go over there now"? Like she wasn't. She was by herself. She's not gonna self-narrate everything that she's gonna do.
Bran uses her warg powers and tells her that she needs help. That he needs help.
That
easy
may have happened.
May have.
Yeah.
But we don't. But they didn't say it because
they didn't explicitly.
It was just a bunch of convenient parts that fell together for not a lot of reasons.
They may say it in this episode.
They say the Night King was overconfident. It's very good that you
Not
used
that
your
part.
warg powers.
I'm saying, but it made sense because when he did his eye rolling thing, that was I was wondering what the hell he was doing, but that may have been what he was doing. He may have been telling Arya to do that. Regardless of explicitly saying that that's what happened, it was still fun to watch and it was still a good story.
Actually,
now it was a little anticlimactic.
As an episode, it was a little boring.
I loved it. It was a little drawn out. It could have been shorter.
Yeah.
But Arya's killing of the Night King was very anticlimactic, and really there was no. You wanted there to be a little more gravity to why she was the one to do it. Like, why was it her?
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, that's not what you were saying. You were asking for an explanation of why she was over there.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that the story reason, like, why was it her that ended up doing? And I watched the behind the scenes thing afterwards. They had decided that Arya was going to kill the Night King 3 years ago. Like in real time when they were.
Well, I mean, they
writing
set up ninja powers.
Right.
You know.
Which is cool. I like her. I like the way she fights. She's cool.
Although,
well,
I would have had her use her faceless man powers to become an undead.
That would have been interesting.
Yeah.
But now the main complaint about this season so far, this last season,
is that Cersei dresses like Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
With big pauldrons that look like cheese graters.
Cheese graters.
For tonight we dine on turtle soup.
I had a flashback to it. There's an episode. There's one little scene I can't get out of my head from when I was a kid watching the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon. Shredder somehow gets his mind messed up and he becomes a Ninja Turtle. And there's an episode.
Sounds solid.
But someone
Krang probably made.
No, someone did some type of hypnotizing because every time he'd hear his name, he'd switch back to being regular Shredder. So he's acting like a cool ninja bro, and they're in a pizza shop, and I think that's what they were doing. Like there's some pizza.
Did he take off his mask to eat pizza?
Yeah, he opens it. Yeah, but what he does, he reaches up to this cheese grater like a big machine, and he goes, "Oh man, there's some cheese left in this cheese shredder." And he goes, Shredder, 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 and he switches back to being evil Shredder. That scene is stuck in my head, and I don't know why.
Because that's the best episode of TMNT that's ever been described to me, ever. Bar none, far and away.
Anyway, what I was trying to say about Game of Thrones is this season, and we kind of saw this coming after you just even seen the first episode of the season, is that this season is not super story heavy. It's when the things are finally clashing. There's a lot more action than there is story. But I think it's still good. It's just a different Game of Thrones than what we're used to. They don't have J.R.R. Martin's book and his writing to fall back on.
When did they diverge?
I think it was season 6 or 7.
Really?
Yeah.
So the Jon.
Actually, I think 7 was the first one that they went completely off.
So Jon coming back is in the original. Is in the.
What season did he come back? 6?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if it's written.
Yeah. But yeah, it seems like some stuff happened for convenience.
I'm sure it did. I'm still liking it. I'm still enjoying the show. Daenerys herself, I forget the actor's name, but
Ramsay Bolton.
Yeah, and she's going to be at Comicpalooza.
Emilia Clarke.
Emilia Clarke. She's going to be at Comicpalooza, which is really cool. She doesn't go to cons very often. But she dropped a little bomb on one of the late night shows, one of the Jimmys, and that's what I just say. One of the Jimmys.
Are there multiple? Like Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Hoffer,
What the hell is his name? The guy who used to be on the Man Show.
Jimmy Palin.
No, that's definitely not it. Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Man.
Jimmy Man.
Jimmy Man.
Jimmy
Jimmy Eat Man.
Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Are we frozen?
I paused
No,
it.
you paused it. Okay.
I was gonna check Facebook, see if anyone was talking to us.
Okay, yeah, let's check Facebook. Let's say.
But anyway, she dropped the bomb, and they were saying that they were talking about how big these episodes have been, how big season episode 4 is going to be as far as like story, and how crazy it's going to be, and like whatever twists, And she was saying there's a much bigger twist in episode 5, so I'm really looking forward to that.
The bomb that Sansa Stark, the actress, I don't know her name, she dropped was like how her and Arya would cut loose after having to film in tough conditions all week or all day, depending on how often they did this. But basically, they would just draw a bath that was big enough for both of them to get into, smoke a lot of weed, and then brush their faces with makeup brushes.
Wow.
Because I read that in an article, and you can lie about anything you want.
She has had an interesting journey herself.
Who's
Sansa?
Sansa Stark?
Because she actually, she started doing that show when she was really young. All of them did.
14.
Yeah, all of them were what?
Because she
10 to 12 years younger?
Because she retains that age through like season 4 when she marries Tyrion, and
Yep.
she's like 7 feet tall. It's like, how old are you, milady? 14.
Doing a deep voice.
14.
But no, she was saying in an interview recently how rough it was because she people hated her character, and so you get people
Well, yeah, she's an underfoot character. That's something I noticed, like binging a lot of it over the last couple of weeks, is that
Right.
she doesn't do much.
right, but she's a little shitty, and she makes some shitty decisions.
She just gets pulled around. She just gets
No,
pulled around.
That's the majority of it, but she takes a particular stance that kind of sides with Cersei a lot of the time, until she finally gets captured and things kind of change.
Wait, when?
Well, she had. I just remember her really having admiration for the queen.
She was trying to survive, man.
This was before she got captured.
Oh, well, yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Wait, captured by whom?
Well, I mean, she kind of was captured in quotes by the Lannisters.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Right, when she was still being courted by Joffrey, she was quite taken by him.
Right.
But she was a girl,
Beside the fucking point. My point is that a lot of people hated her character, and they let her know that on Twitter. And a lot of it was really depressing to her, and she actually went into a deep depression and had some issues, and had to actually start going to therapy to get corrected, to be like back on track here, because
It's always really tough when you.
Yeah, it's rough.
When you're in the industry and that young, because everything's so important to you when you're that age, and you internalize everything.
Right. Yeah, no, you're right, and this show's got bigger, I think, than any of them anticipated, and it was a lot more than people can handle sometimes. But yeah.
Arya has had an interesting journey, because as she grew older, she developed sideburns. She's a
Speaking
cute
of,
kid.
that was
She's got
another
sideburns.
that was another thing that blew up on social media was her sex scene. Like everybody. It was a lot of people googling how old she was, like in real life, and then having a sigh of relief that she was of age.
Well, I mean, they've never done that, because the lady who plays Lady Marjorie, she's an adult,
Right.
And Tommen he was very clearly like somewhere between 14 and 16 in some of their bedroom scenes, and like they stage it really well to I was like, did they kiss? I can't. Did they kiss? I can't remember. They've never done that.
They gave her the option. The directors did, whether she wanted to do full frontal or not, and she kind of decided to do kind of a half. Like it wasn't super revealing.
Okay.
But
I
just remember reading that. That was just a fact. I don't have an opinion on it.
The only thing, Arya's one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, she's great.
I don't think that she's attractive.
That's fair.
Yeah,
She kind of feels like a kid sister.
yeah,
Yeah.
like she's always looked so young, you know, and that's the only thing. She's cute for a kid,
Right.
You know, and that's fine. And the thing is that I like the character. Isn't that what I'm supposed to like? What can I do to satisfy you, internet? I like her for what she does, not what she looks like. What?
Nothing. I didn't say anything. I'm good. I think that's pretty much everything we.
We're gonna end on that note.
No. I'm just saying. I'm saying
The Night King's stupid.
yeah, whatever.
Okay, I
Overconfident is the word I would use.
I wanted him to. The thing is that if he kills, overconfident. He's like, I can definitely go and kill Bran by going into their going into the heart of their defensive position.
Nothing's been able to stop him yet. He has not seen failure.
But he knows fear. It's not like he walked up alone. He knew what he had to do in order to take out the world of man, but he chose not to. He chose to kill Bran because imagine if the Night King had won. Imagine if the Night King had won.
Okay, done.
Okay, Bran's dead. Oh well. Like seriously, like zero sum.
We know that he has a vendetta against
The Three-Eyed Raven.
the Three-Eyed Raven, but he also has a vendetta against just the Seven Kingdoms. Like he's trying to wipe them off the map.
Actually, why does he have a vendetta against them? The people who made him the Night King were the children.
Yeah, that's true.
So why does he even hate the Seven Kingdoms?
I forget. I don't know.
I don't think they say.
Excuse me.
So his anger is a complete projection.
Well,
He's a dummy.
no. Isn't it that in a roundabout way that it's man's fault that he was created? Because it was the man's encroachment on nature that made the children. What are they called? The children of nature? What are they
They're
called?
just called the children.
Yeah, like they did that in retaliation of man's encroachment, didn't they? I don't remember exactly how that episode is so far ago, so far back.
It's still the children's fault.
Well, yeah.
Oh wait, no. Oh wait, okay. The children were creating a weapon
Right against
to
him,
fight
against
the
man.
world of man.
Right.
Okay.
So he's doing what he's designed to do.
So it's actually just programming.
Right. Pretty much.
Yeah. Which is what makes him so dumb.
What do you anticipate happening in this next episode? The one that's happening today. When we're streaming this is the 5th
I think
of May.
I think that the Golden Company is going to land on the shores of
Is that the Iron guy?
the Gold Company is at the helm. The Gold Company is at the beck and call of the Iron Order, the bankers of Westeros. Cersei bought an
Right.
army.
The mercenaries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cersei bought a private army.
Yeah.
And they are going to land on the shores of. I don't know the geography well enough, but I know that they can't just be at Winterfell. That's not going to happen. Because the conflict is going to happen on the last episode.
But they're not far from the West Coast.
What's there? I don't know Westeros that well.
If I remember the map correctly, actually we could just pull it up.
Yeah. So Gold Company is sailing from King's Landing, which is where?
It's gonna be a better map.
Is there not like a Google map? Sometimes they have fantasy Google maps. There's a really good one of
maybe.
Galerian that I use for Pathfinder games because like you can like look up the cities and stuff. It's really cool. Here's a good one. Okay. So, yeah, accept. Just say yes. Just accept your fate. All right. So where's King's Landing? There it is. Okay. So they're there. and good.
Hold on. We need a bigger map.
That was the best map.
It was not the best map. It
was the best
It, wa-
map.
it wasn't. It was a picture of the map. It wasn't the actual map.
This one, Digital Spy. Okay, so Kingsland.
I was gonna make it big. It's the same fucking map.
Yeah, I want that map because I can actually see where stuff is.
It's not even. It's not even complete.
I'm almost like my thought is almost done because I can see part of that map. Because we really only need to know where White runs. That's something else. What's the name? What's the Stark home?
Winterfell.
Winterfell. Yeah, I only need to know where Winterfell and King's Landing are.
I got you. I'm just gonna do this.
Okay.
Pull the actual map.
Best episode ever.
Ever.
Oh God, it's so tiny.
I turned down the.
Basically, we're looking at like there was an excellent map just a second ago.
It was not excellent. I don't know what you're talking about.
I only needed to know where those two places were. That's it, and I could tell from that other map. And this map, its resolution's too low to read anything.
Okay, fine.
Okay. This one. Okay. So King's Landing is on the central east. And where is Winterfell?
You said you could see it. It's way up top.
There's-
It's
okay.
cut off the map, like I told you.
Okay, that's fine. But we know it's north of White Harbor. That's where they're going to land.
Yeah, the iron. Oh, they're gonna go around this. I forget that it's shaped this way. I thought it would make more sense
Yeah.
to go around the other side.
I think that the Gold Company is going to land at White Harbor.
Okay,
And have we seen White Harbor yet?
I forget.
They'll probably take White Harbor, and that'll be like its own thing.
Mm-hmm.
And like White Harbor will have to make a decision. Like, are they gonna prop up Cersei?
So what they might try to do is you might have, because he has the Iron Island. She has that under her. The uncle.
yeah,
In his fleet. So his fleet would probably come up the other way.
Urian.
Yeah. Emo pirate.
They'd have to sail. Well, okay.
There's ways to get close-ish.
Oh, up through the rivers.
Yeah.
But don't they have like a? Did they ever build their big fleet?
I thought so.
I'm at the part where Urian's boasting that he's going to build a big fleet because
You said you were caught up.
no, I've watched all the most recent stuff, but I'm missing basically season 8.
What? We're in season
I'm at
8.
season 7. I'm
Okay.
halfway through season 6, I think.
Yeah, so in season 7, I think he builds it.
Yeah. So that's what I think. Gold Company is going to land at White Harbor. They're going to have a little adventure where the politics of White Harbor are going to be like, oh, should we let the Gold Company do whatever they want to do, or should we stand with Jon Snow? Okay, if they're smart, there's going to be a payoff. If they're smart, they're gonna be like they're gonna like invite the Gold Company in with open arms, and they're gonna like set up shop and be like, "You're good, okay, yeah, we know that Cersei is just true queen. Come on, babies," and then
And assassinate him,
yeah, it's gonna
jump him.
they're gonna be and the theme is gonna be the North remembers.
That's fair.
Yeah, that'd be a goodie.
I
And so it's gonna come down to just Jon and the Mountain. That'll be the last conflict.
I'm really curious what is left of the Winterfell army. It's not gonna be much.
No.
So I'm really curious what they're gonna do with that.
Can we talk about the library adventure
With
Arya?
Arya.
Yeah, Arya went on a little library adventure with the zombies.
What's there to say?
Why were the zombies in the library just looking around?
They're stray zombies. Happens all the time. But anyway, I'm really curious to see about what is left and what they're planning on doing. I don't know who, like, how, like, there's a puzzle now where the puzzle is how the hell do they get enough troops together to eventually take the Iron Throne back.
They'd have to buy a gold company. They could outright buy them. They would just need they would need to entice them with something.
I don't think it's going to be that. I don't think that's the way they're going to go. I think they're going to go a different way.
Bran needs to do something.
Something, yes. Something, yes. There's
At
little,
least one thing in this whole story to make it worth it.
there's a bit that Seth Meyers did about that, where he was just talking about like what do you do? Like, do something. You have some type of powers, but you're not really displaying them. You're not getting anything done with them.
Mm-hmm.
You're just being an asshole, really.
The thing is that they haven't done any like time warping stuff where like he affects time, but time is always the way that it was after he affecting it. Like, he's known Hodor as Hodor his entire life, even though he made Hodor.
Right.
He couldn't have known Willis, I think was his name, and then turned him into Hodor in the past, and then suddenly Hodor's Hodor.
Right.
You know?
The way their timeline works is that you can affect the past, but you already have.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's one timeline.
So,
There's actually a really good movie you should watch that messes time, that does time the same way, and it's called Time Crimes, and it's amazing.
Time Crimes?
Yes.
Of course I'm going to watch Time Crimes. Are you kidding me? It sounds like the best movie ever.
It is.
Okay, like, what I wanted Bran to do, what I thought would have made everything make sense in the Battle of Winterfell was if he had some way to affect the Night King. Because the Night King can touch him when he's walking, you know, when he's walking through time, the Night King can see him and affect him.
True.
But it would be cool if, like, Bran, because Bran's nothing in his memory walks.
Right.
He's not even himself because he's Bran with a fully functioning spine. Like, he should be able to like turn himself into a dragon or something like that, and like be a threat to the Night King.
Right.
And so that would be why the Night King's after him, and like he could in some way douse the powers of the Night King in some way that makes it inconvenient for him.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, yeah, that'd be fun. I was having a separate thought. I feel like what should come to a head in this next episode is Jon Snow's claim to the throne, and that disagreement that's definitely coming with him and Daenerys.
Oh yeah,
That's gonna be fun.
because one thing I've noticed about Daenerys is that she's an effective. Okay, actually, she makes a lot of stupid decisions, and she is way more interested in conquest.
She is.
Than any other part of the job.
She is.
Like, in the city of Mirren, her whole idea was to completely destabilize their economy and promptly leave.
Yep.
That's all she wanted.
She wanted vengeance on the guys at the top. And
Yeah.
didn't care about anybody else. Yeah, and she's clearly obsessed about reclaiming the Iron Throne, and Jon's not.
Honestly, it should be Ferris.
Which one's Ferris? Oh, he's the bald one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He should have the Iron Throne?
Yeah, definitely. Ferris is the only one who ever was like, okay, Jon is just like, let's just try to survive and figure out where the next meal's coming from.
Yeah, let's be cool, bro.
Daenerys is like, which society am I going to topple next?
Right.
Tyrion, honestly, I think he just likes to put together puzzles.
Sure.
That's the only thing he's really concerned with is being correct. Ferris is the only one who's ever been like, I believe that Daenerys Targaryen would be a good leader and could actually make a difference in this world. Well, maybe.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you got your head on straight. You just don't have a claim to the throne.
He's just not a leader. He'd rather be a guy that works in the background.
No, he just doesn't have a claim to the throne.
No, I don't think he's a leader.
He's a leader.
He's not a leader.
He leads spy networks. Spy masters are leaders.
He leads a spy network in the background. That's what I'm saying. He prefers to be in the background. He doesn't want to be at the top of
what I'm saying
public
is
life.
that his leadership skills are there.
Right.
It's a preference.
He'd make a good hand at the king. Or queen. I don't think he has no preference he doesn't want to be the king.
How is about this? the Night King, unbeknownst to anybody, raised Robert. And Robert is undead now. But he still has his personality.
Robert Baratheon?
Yeah, and it's a party. We're right back to the party.
We're going right to the beginning. That would be fun.
Because wasn't that what King's Landing was? A nonstop party?
For him?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go whoring, drinking, eating,
Yeah, but
hunting.
Weren't the people happy with Robert?
Not all of them.
No, not the Lannisters.
No, I know, but you're asking if there was peace in King's Landing.
Yeah. He gave them tournaments.
That's right. He was a favored king because of that. Like because he was just like the party king, and he was like, yeah, everyone's cool, let's do this. But the problem was that all these tournaments and stuff they were putting on, they were putting the bank into debt. Mm-hmm. So it's not the greatest way to rule.
No, but it is a party.
Mm-hmm. It is a party.
It was fun with Robert.
It was fun.
Bare minimum.
Absolutely.
I mean, the Lannisters never turned that around.
What didn't turn what around?
The economy. They never turned it around.
No, she made some strides. What happened?
Nothing.
Something happened. It doesn't matter.
Spending dropped, I think, when the High Sparrow was in.
No. They fucked over the grandma assassin.
Tarkin.
Grandma assassin.
The
Didn't they get money from them? They got money from them.
the Queen of Thorns?
Yeah,
When?
they did.
Yeah, Lord. When Lord Tyrell was on the Small Council.
Right. Because they were in desperate need of some money, so that's what they kind of brought them in. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
That's what they wanted, and they both had different.
right, but they lost that relationship, but quick.
Right, but I think they already had the money.
They were actually they were talking about Lord Tywin going to the Iron Bank, like to negotiate.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't.
It's not all solved, but
Yeah,
I think they were better.
It was actually just a financial minded person moving a bit of debt.
Right.
That's it.
Moving some stuff. Okay, I think we've gone long.
We've gone terribly long.
Yeah.
It's 2.
It's 2:00.
So this has been 2 hours.
Oh God.
Yeah. Okay. Any last words before Game of Thrones is canceled forever for low sales?
That's not what happened.
They just released a new action figure line. They're desperate. They did.
Did they really?
Yeah, and it's not like it's not like action figures like you sell to adults, although they're still priced as them. They're like fully posable, come with weapons, and
Fun.
yeah. Actually, I thought they looked cool.
How many kids are watching Game of Thrones, do you think?
All of them.
Because parenting is dead.
Every child. I saw this meme. I know this is a stupid note to end on, but it was my favorite. Somebody was holding up a cardboard sign that says, "Y'all need to binge watch your kids."
I love that. That's funny.
And on that note, I do think it's time to say goodbye. If you happen to stay the entire time, just bless you.
Oh God, we still need to talk about Comicpalooza.
Blessings of the 7. Comicpalooza will be happening this coming weekend.
Next weekend, we will have so much fun stuff for you to do at our booth.
You'll just die. It will literally kill you.
Yeah.
You'll literally be dead by the end of it. And we will feast on your corpses.
Let's do a real quick.
Let's tell them when stuff's happening.
We've done that. We can do
Tell
it
'em
again. Tell them again. I sent you a thing. That's the fastest way to find this information.
But we are going to be doing a panel on Saturday, May 11th. The panel begins
10:30.
at 10:30 a.m.
Get up there early.
An hour before the con begins.
No, I think it opens. I think the floor opens at 10.
Does it?
I think so.
So we have 30 minutes to get people into it. Are we going to film it?
I don't think we have the right equipment to do it because they're going to panel a lot of people. I don't think
We would need a dedicated videographer. Is
Right.
what we would need.
Yeah, so probably not, but come and this will actually be fun. I think we should actually entice people to come up there. Like we could have prizes for people there too. Like we have one thing that we've already talked about where you can shoot us with Nerf guns.
Did you email any of the other guys to see if they're cool with being shot at?
Not yet.
Yeah, but how? Like, if you come up and you want to ask us a question, you fire a Nerf dart, and whoever gets hit has to answer it.
Right.
That'll be one thing. We'll give you a few shots.
Mm-hmm.
How about 3 shots in 3 steps? It's like, is that who you wanted? No. Okay, take a step, take a shot. Is that who you wanted? No. Take a step, take a shot. Yeah.
So that same day, this Saturday, we will be doing our WarPod Thunderdome, which will be at 3 p.m. Yeah, so we'll be doing that.
Yeah, and we have a couple of strategies depending on how many people come to see the show.
Yep.
That will decide what kind of game we play, how many prizes we give out, etc. If there are a lot of people there, then we're going to then Johnny and I are going to play a game. And we're gonna have teams. It's gonna be kind of a la Super Fight. And if we only have a few people there, then we'll do something that's just the fans.
Okay. Recently announced guests that we haven't talked about yet on the show. Dan Fogler.
Dan Fogelberg.
Yeah. So he's the guy from Fantastic Beasts. He looks.
He's the nutty uncle.
Yeah.
From the Goldbergs is who he is.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Okay. I have not watched a lot of that.
No, he's. I think his name is Larry in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Either Larry or Harry.
I think that's right. He's a fun guy.
Yeah. Apparently he was in The Walking Dead.
Yeah, I had no idea. I stopped watching that a long time ago.
Okay. I mean, who's new?
That's the new one that I know of. I'm trying to just check to see if there's any other ones. Ming Chen is always there.
Ming Chen lives.
This is his second home.
Yeah, at the George R. Brown.
Right.
The voice actors: Rob Paulson, Jess Harnell, Tress McNeil. Is it Tress? I always heard Tess.
No idea.
And Maurice LaMarche. The Animaniacs.
Right.
The Animaniacs and Pinky and the Brain. Although Rob Paulson is pulling double duty because he's Yakko and Pinky.
Yeah, absolutely. Pinky's the best. I do. I love Pinky.
Prawn! That was my favorite. What in heaven's name is Frawn, Pinky? It's Knopf spelled backwards, Brain.
The headliners apparently are Emilia Clarke, which is, of course, the big headliner.
She was Dick Tracy in the original Dick Tracy movie.
That's not true. Natalie Emanuel, she's the interpreter.
She played Big Boy Caprice in Dick Tracy.
That's not right. Grant Gustin is the guy who plays the Flash.
He played the Brow in Dick Tracy.
Wilmer Valderrama
Played the Blank.
That's not true at all. But he's from that 70s show. You guys know him. But yeah, come check it out. We're going to be having fun. It's going to be a big party.
You sound very convincing.
I'm really tired.
Are you now?
What does Arya have to do with this?
Ah.
All right, I'm turning off the podcast.
Oh, wait, everybody. No, wait, you can go too.
All right.
Everybody at home. I feel like the tension's broken now. Everybody at home, try to say Arya without saying Aria. Her name is spelled Arya, not like a type of song. It's Arya. So try to say it without saying Aria. And good night.